because sometimes that's why some people, be it man or woman, that's why some people don't like getting married to either a woman that's had kids, or man that's had kids. It be it a widower or widow. You know, because of this, you don't know the omoko omoaya that you are going to pade in the marriage. You see, I'm not going to come for Benito, because we really and truly, èmi náà lọ́mọ tèmi, ọmọ lọ́mọ ṣèmi, wedding odi wedding dẹ̀ ni. Do you understand? Mo lọ́mọ tèmi. So I know how these our kids they behave. Ẹni tọ́lọ́run bá fún tọ́ ni. A lot of mothers and fathers they try. Ọlọ́run ò fẹ́ lómi tọ́. Ọlọ́run dẹ̀ fẹ́ lómi tọ́. You understand? What I mean is, some people are lucky. When you train your child, the child will just listen and just be of good behavior. Even if there's hiccups, it will just be corrected immediately, or maybe soon. You understand? Before you know, the child will try. Meanwhile, some, you like me now, I won't lie to you people. My father disowned me at one point in my life. He need that you are saying today. My father, my biological father, disowned me at one point in my life. So you can imagine if those people that talked bad about me then, I'm sure they are regretting today. How do I mean? Why did my father disown me? It's not about my father going to marry somebody else. So I mean, my own was because I got pregnant at the age of 23. As in I gave birth, sorry. At the age of 23, 2 months to my clocking 24. Then when they asked me who get the belly, because first and foremost, my pregnancy, maybe some of you have not heard my story. My pregnancy of my beloved first child, my daughter. You understand? I hid it from my parents. Forget my father. My father leaves home as early as to 7 or 6:30. By 6:37, you don't find my daddy in the house. He comes back anything after 6 or 7. Do you understand? To the house. He was a known lawyer. So he was always busy. And also he was an industrialist. He had a paint factory. And also he was also a politician. So he was completely a busy man to the core. So you never find him at home. Weekends is in Ogun State, where his factory. My daddy was the CEO of Tesgard Paints and Happy Home Paints. If you use paint then, you will know about those paints. Now, he was such a busy man that my mother was in charge in terms of taking care of us. As sharp as my mommy is, my mother was my father never laid hands on a child. But we respected my father more than my mother, because my mother beats at every interval. In fact, out of all her children, I mean, she beats pass. Others will not really say they experience beating from her, because when they say stay here, I will ask why, and I will put my thing here and be asking why you say I should stay there. In the sense that don't go out. I will sneak out. I will put clothes on the bed and cover it and sneak out. You know how many times our Megad was sacked because of me, because of only me, because they thought maybe I was bribing Musa knew, Muhammad knew. Because by the time they find out that, how did she pass the gates? I will jump fence. I will go for party. Then come back and I would have told our house help, you sleep past opening. When I coco, you have to opened the door for me. One day I did not know that my mother have discovered that I sneak out. When they saw the clothes, my mother, they said she was in shock. Maybe she thought maybe they turned me to a cloth. Then she now heard me. She stayed awake. Then she now heard when I did koko. Our house help their name. Our Eli, Abra. My mother used to be house help in the house. Many. We had not 3, 4 at a time, all the time. So there's one Sido or Eli. Those ones are younger. Mama Teresa was on the adult side. She's the one that takes care of us, our uniform, everything. The one that followed my mommy to the shop, Yato. So I would just do koko. When I do koko like that koko that day, my mother does it. The sugar open it. As I was entering like this, I don't even know if it's slippers, if it's beating. What shall I feel? The beating I got from my mother that day. Oh Jehovah, I nearly died. And my mother, she will be beating you. She will be telling you to beat her. She will be scratching you like this. And tell you to beat her. Meanwhile, it's because my body was chubby. I was yeah. That might leave me alone. To my mother, you want to raise your hand. You want to beat her. She expects you to stay. So you kill me. But any headiness like this, my mother will say, just raise up your hand. And I've always known from when I was young that you never raise up your hand on your parent, your mother, anything. That's big curse. So she will beat me. Most of the time when I do such a thing, it's always weekend when my father is in Ogun State, his factory, because he has to go and oversee the factory. Most of Friday to Sunday night, my daddy is in Ogun State. So I will go for party. Then early in the morning, as I'm coming back from party, my God will open gate for me or I jump gates. Everything I was on my own. What am I saying? As my mother sharp rich, where she mean rich, that was why every time you hear me say, I love only my father, I don't love my mother, it's because Yami Ugbagbakugba, she was so mean. She used to beat me. She didn't hesitate in beating me. She beats me as if she doesn't love me. I know they hear. Me kimbo, me kimba. Eventually, I can't get belly. You know what now pained my mother the most? At least when you want to have belly, you will now have belly for your sawawu. Because she has been going for society wedding. Now, my mother like party. All those, she's a Yaloja, one of the Yalojas in Alade Market, the officials in Alade Market. Go and ask Allen Avenue. You go and ask them there. So she has been going for society wedding. Everybody society. My older sister that married, every society, So she now expect that what happened to my head, that I don't want to do society wedding that my daddy is doing for all his children that are older than me. Why didn't I reach river before I went to fetch my own water? Why is it that I got out and I did not even go inside river? I went to Shalanga. You understand? As far as my mother was concerned, I brought a lot of shame to the family. My mother will say, even Mary and Babangida that gave birth for a musician, people say that she's a prostitute. So what are you? What are you? Because how did she know? Mama Guido, one woman on my street, she's my mommy's paddy. They call her Mama Skido, but one of my auntie call her Mama Guido. She doesn't know how to pronounce Mama Skido. So she will say Mama Guido. So Mama Guido is the one that saw me. I came back from school. I was in Edo State University, Ekpoma. Came back from school to come and take money from my dad. I can obtain my daddy. If you want to dupe my daddy, just be going to school. People will think you have a sugar daddy. I can lie That is, I will be down the road. I can't do another thing for Lagos new. I will just send somebody to my daddy to say, I'm not eating in school, I have malaria, I have typhoid, all the things. My daddy will give them all the money. All those things my mother didn't like it. My mother felt he was spoiling me. Nothing mommy says to me, I will go to my daddy will pet me. I was one, not to lie, I was one of his favorite child. He loved me because I know book, but I get pepper body. Ara mi ò balẹ̀. Jare. The gyrating was too much. It was even taking part of my intelligence. And my mother knew. My mother would be beating me. She would be telling me that I am Omagbojulogun. That is speaking where they wait for inheritance. Because if your father didn't come from a rich home, his mother was a meat seller, his father was a hunter. Intelligence brought him thus far. Oyibo na him give am scholarship. Go study for University of Cambridge. You understand? He was given scholarship. If he can achieve something with just studying, then why is it that because your father gets small now, you don't want to be anything than to be doing ashewo? That's how my mother, anybody that you are not doing your life decent, you are ashewo. If you like, nothing. You know they do decency. You are ashewo. My mother will say it's ashewo. She know they talk. The one will be saying, my mother is not the type you will sit down with and be telling her, Mommy, I have a boyfriend. Come on. She doesn't smile. Always frowning. Not approachable. She not teach me sex education. She not even expect say make they have sex. My mother was not nice to me at all. She not even there approachable. Nothing where you want to discuss with her. She will tell you if it's not your education, you have nothing to say. So it was hard for me. And me, I can't tear eye. I'm coming home. I'm still going back to, if God give you pikin to return, if you train a child and you get luck, God give you that child, you see and train. Na luck. Not be by your power. Not be by your might. Na luck. Because some of these children, you see, their parents good well. But pikin won't tear eye. He no go hear whistle of hunter. Except he reach that Sokoto. Go see wetin eye won't see. He no go rest. My mama talk her. She no even know say they see musician. Say musician they bench me. My mama no know. If to say she know, I swear if my mama know, I know that my mother will do anything. I swear. Not to allow me go that route. But I know the year. Ha! That's how this mama skiddo. I came home to come and dupe my father as normal. Even the philosophy where they study, the thing they vex my baba for inside belle, I was initially meant to go and study law. But because my cutoff mark no reach waiting fit study that, so I was meant to be serious so that I can switch, redo jam. But I can't think and say, no, university na university. I beg, make I just go school, finish. Make I just go, make I just give them the certificate. I want Jaye. That was the reason why I studied philosophy. My papa not like the course. My papa no, you know, he wasn't, from when I was young, he's always been saying the law for me. From when I was young, because I'm very argumentative, when I was in this primary, secondary school, all debate, now me, they must carry me. I love debating. So he could see some potential in me. But I did, I derailed from gyrating, open eye. I'm not going even to hear what. So my mom was at home. I went out. I don't come. I don't already tell my papa, say I need money. So he told me the next day, they will give me money,